Whitney Houston, I Wanna Dance with Somebody, out in theaters, latest music biopic about, you guessed it, Whitney Houston. Now, I've tried to ask myself why I even continue to watch these types of movies, because I swear to God, every single one of them is exactly the same. Talent is discovered, all goes well, we spend half the film watching a sort of greatest hits compilation. Then there's fame and drugs and problems with relationships and problems with family and problems with money and the inevitable fall from grace. And then the comeback and a hopeful ending with a couple of lines of text about what happened next, whether the artist died at some point or continues to live to this day. And the only answer I find as to why I'm still willing to go view them, these music biopics, is the unerring hope that maybe one day one of them will turn out to be something along the lines of another Rocket Man, because that film about Elton John was spectacularly fun. Unfortunately, when it comes to I Wanna Dance with Somebody, that is not the case. The film is beat for beat exactly the same as all the others. It skirts on the surface of the life of Whitney Houston, telling the audience a shallow and bland narrative, accentuated here and there by the admittedly beautiful songs. I went into the film knowing very little about Whitney, other than knowing some of her music and the fact that she was in The Bodyguard. But I feel that I haven't really learned anything substantial. The one thing that I found somewhat interesting, somewhat remarkable, was the story of her relationship with Robin Crawford, her lifelong friend and lover, because I didn't know Whitney was bisexual. But even then, having seen the film, I'm still not sure what the nature of that relationship worked like, especially in the later stages of Houston's life. I mean, the movie makes it clear that they were a romantic pairing early on, but then Whitney at some point gets a husband and she had a child, but she still kept Robin close in her life. And was she just a friend there or still a lover somewhat? I mean, who knows? The movie doesn't really bother to explain that. There's some questionable editing and the film strangely jumps around timelines a couple of times. And I mean, the singing and the music scenes are pretty good. The film uses Whitney Houston's own unmistakable voice, so it is a pleasure to at least listen to it. And Naomi Aki does a very good job with the central performance, but it's not enough. I mean, really, after seeing dozens of exactly the same movie with just the artist swapped out, I'm simply bored at this stage. I need a movie like this to do something new and fresh and interesting. Simply being a quick run through the key events from the artist's Wikipedia page just doesn't do it for me anymore. Especially as in this case the film is very long, 2 hours, 26 minutes, and doesn't really use any of that time in a meaningful way. Very, very unimpressive.